What's up, rock stars? It's Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage DC, Season 1, Episode 2. So let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, so the show opens with Monique meeting with child Ashley. How about in my notes I had Raina the whole time? I thought that was a Raina that she was with. Them two kind of look alike. I mean, they don't really look alike, but when you just glance at the screen, you know, they favor each other. So I thought that she was sitting there talking to her anyway. You know, Monique is talking to her and telling her how she's tired from the party. She had such a great time. And that, you know, she just really wanted some words of wisdom from Raina and Jamie because they've been together for so long, almost 30 years. She was like, me and Chris been together 10 years and we still trying to get it together. Ashley asked her, you know, did you go through that 7-year itch? And Monique was like, no, she felt like it's more like the 10-year itch. I was like, Monique, do I need to remind you about all that shit that happened on Real Housewives of Potomac? Okay, the trainer, that seems like that would be somewhere right around her 7th year, you know? But Monique didn't seem to want to bring that up. So, I mean, okay, girl, if you say so. Ashley said they did go through the 7-year itch and it was tough. She's always had to kind of do whatever her husband wanted to do because he was the busier one or the more successful in the one in the group, in the marriage. But she finally got to a point where she felt like she wanted to do what she wanted to do, okay? And she had to let him know, like, there's things that I want to do as well other than just sitting home with these kids all the damn time while you run all over, you know, promoting and doing radio and, you know, doing all the things that you're doing too. So she said that, you know, and he tries to be supportive. You know, of course, the men still feel like they the ones that got to do all of the shit. You know, we gonna be supportive as long as it don't fuck up what I got to do over here. And Monique says, yeah, I mean, Chris tries to be supportive too, but Chris is still not giving what Monique needs. And Ashley was like, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. You know, like Quick gets to come home and be like, I gotta go to an event tomorrow. I'm gonna be out of town. And he just packs and leaves, you know. She was like, I can't do that. She was like, you know, it always is like, I was like, well, girl, welcome to motherhood. Monique is so glad that Ashley knows exactly how she feels because people will say just because you're married to a successful man and he provides that's enough, but Monique says that's not enough, and that's not bad. You know, if you know that you require more out of your mate, your spouse, your partner, then it needs to be addressed. And if you tell them that, because they can't read minds, but if you tell them that, then they now need to either fix it or move on. So that's where they are. I didn't realize that this wasn't Raina until they started talking about having babies again. You know, Monique was like, absolutely no more kids for her. And when Ashley said, I was like, Raina, child, you ain't about to have no more babies. But when she said she's 36, I said, oh my God, this is Ashley. She started talking about how she was going through menopause, thinking maybe she was going through early menopause and all of that. But I guess as of now, no, she doesn't want any more kids either. Monique invites her to a vegan dinner that she's going to have at the house, have her chef come and whoop up something real delicioso for the group. And so she's invited Ashley and Quick to the party. Ashley's on her way to get her underarms Botox, which I heard really works. I don't really sweat much under my arms, but I know some people that do, okay? So that's where Ashley's on her way to. Now, speaking of Quick, we see Quick at work, and him and his partner, Sean, have worked together for many, many years. Sean is his everything now. It's not just his manager, you know, situation, but now he's like a part of the family. Sean, when Quicksilver's father passed, Sean said he's going to be and step in whatever role that Sean needs to play for Quick, he's going to do it. And Quick really appreciates him for that. They work together with DTLR. I guess that's a huge sponsor for them. They're meeting about CIAA. Okay, CIAA is a HBCU championship type game that usually happens in North Carolina, but this year it is going to be in Baltimore. And you hear about it being about the games, but I'm telling you, it's all about the parties. I've been to CIAA and it is a blast, and it is a party everywhere, all day, every day for them 4 days that you were there. Okay, so it's gonna be up in Baltimore now. And Sean has gotten Quick booked for a whole bunch of gigs, a whole bunch of parties. He's gonna be bouncing from place to place to place. And, you know, we got to be careful. We can't work him to death. Okay, you're gonna be hella busy. You know, of course, Quick knows that this is going to be a problem with Ashley because he has worked himself to death basically and ended up in the hospital, and you know, he's got to be on IV and exhausted and all of that. So I figure like if it's just a weekend, it won't be that bad. But if this shit goes on continuous for, you know, just keep on going, at some point you burning the candle at both ends, you gonna meet in the middle at, you know, some point. So, but yeah, he already knows that this is about to be a problem with Ashley. He doesn't want to have that conversation. Now later on we see Quick and Jamie and Neil. Neil is their homeboy too. They all meet together for a couple of drinks. When they get together, they're also talking about CIAA because you know that Jamie does party promotions, and like I said, it's a big party and it's gonna be in Baltimore. So Jamie is definitely going to be involved in the parties as well. You know, as a matter of fact, him and Quick is going to be going head to head on their parties, you know, and each one is boasting about whose party is going to be better or whatever. Honey, go to both of them. You bounce from party to party to party to party, y'all. I'm telling you. Anyway, they're talking and Quick knows Raina pretty well, I guess. And he was like, so how Raina feeling about you getting back out there, you know, and being real busy with it? And Jamie was like, I'm going to be 100 with you. You know, in the past, she really didn't like it. And she would have problems with me even if I was just liking somebody's picture on social media. He was like, but now, you know, of course, now she, even though she doesn't really like it that much, she won't stand in the way of it if I'm trying to make money or something like that. You know, she pretty much trusts him now is what he was trying to say. Back in the day, Jamie looked like he had some running in him. Okay. So, I'm sure that's the reason why Raina probably felt the way that she felt. Of course, he left that part out, but we could read between the lines. And he knows that Ashley feels the same way. I don't know if there's been any cheating issues in the relationship with Quick and Ashley, but Ashley definitely doesn't like the way that like the fact that he's gone away from home all the time. So they both realize that it takes strong women to be married to them, okay? Because, you know, the lifestyle and the jobs that they have can cause problems in a marriage in more ways than one. Now let's jump over to Monique. So Monique, we see her. She is on her way to WGPC. That is a radio station out there in that area, DMV area, Baltimore, wherever it is. And it seems that they are offering her a job. She was a guest co-host there at one time, and they loved her. And so now she's hoping that they're offering her a position, and they are, okay? They feel like she would be great for the job. Well, they don't officially give it to her, but they're kind of filling out like, do you really want to do this? And she says, yes, she definitely wants to do it. And, you know, they're like, okay, good. You know, we just need to make sure you're not going to bring that reality show drama because this is real life and this is the radio. And, you know, she was like, yeah, I don't bring drama. I try to stay away from that kind of stuff. You know, she deals with it if it does come her way. But she said that she still has PTSD from what happened on Real Housewives of Potomac. I said, I would imagine that you are going to be hearing about that for a long time. Whether or not, you know, people agreed with what she did or didn't do. I mean, that was a big fight on that show. So, and Monique got pulled completely out of character. So yeah, that's something unfortunately is going to follow you for a long time. But yeah, she really wants to do this and they seem to be with it okay too. All right, so the schedule, girl, you got to be here probably 5 o'clock in the morning because I guess the show starts at 6. You know, they're usually 6 to 10 is the morning rush. And she was just like, that's fine. As soon as she said it, I was like, girl, what is you gonna do about them 3 kids at the house? They all elementary school age and need to be getting ready in the morning. And anybody that has gotten 3 kids together in the morning, I mean, I used to do it with Joe and Jada, and that was a whole bunch of fucking work. So, and that was somebody that was skilled as a mom getting them together. I mean, you know, Chris, I mean, he just gonna have to do it. I mean, there were times when I was out of town or something and Mr. had to do it, but, you know, very few times. But, you know, and I would be all worried and shit like, so I was like, girl, wait till you tell Chris that he got to get these kids together in the morning. But she gonna do it, and he gonna have to just fall in line, okay? And Chris, because he's already in trouble, he gonna fall in line. But it's gonna be interesting to see him get them kids together in the morning. That's all I know. Now, speaking of Chris, we see him. He meets Kevin out, I guess it was lunch or dinner. I wasn't quite sure what time it was. But anyway, they meet each other to talk because Chris was like, you know, last time I was talking to Kevin,
last time talking to Kevin, I could tell he really, really loved winning.
So he don't understand, like, what is the problem here? Let's get Kevin's side, because Monique already told him Winter's side. So he sit down and he was just like, y'all really loved each other. And Kevin was like, I know. Gave her everything she wanted. We see the clip of them talking about having sex 8 times a day. And girl, who's fucking 8 times a day? What your coochie look like 8 times a fucking? Anyway. People kill me when I'm not saying it's impossible. I don't know what else you doing in a day if you fucking 8 times in a day. Is he finishing? Okay, I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic here. But they were perfect for each other. And then it just all went left. So what happened, Kevin? Well, Kevin starts up, and this is when, as soon as he started talking, I was just like, this nigga lying. He say everything was going good. And then all of a sudden he found out that his job was suing him, because they said that he took $1,500 to take the kids ice skating. And, he said he didn't do that. And I was just like, Kevin. So then Kevin get to telling us about, the money, and then his partner suing him. And then, he had to file bankruptcy because they didn't have, and I was just like, okay, so bottom line is he took this fucking money from the company he had with partners. When the partners found out he took this money, they wanted their damn money back. He couldn't pay the money back. They had to file bankruptcy. Winter's shit was tied up in his shit. And Winter was like, I ain't signed on for this bullshit. Fuck all that 8 times fucking in a day. Okay, nigga, I'm not fixing to go to jail for you or anybody else. But he act like he don't understand. He don't know. And nigga, what was so hard for you to understand out of that whole... And Chris was sitting there listening to him like, whoa. Kind of like, oh, but you really loved each other. Chris, did you not hear the part where he took the money from the partners? And then you think these people just lying on him? Yeah, can you imagine all this? And Winter treated him so bad, and he bombarded her with love. And, man, I really love them kids. I love them kids like they was my own, My son the other day was asking about one of them, and he got to crying. I said, Kevin. Kevin almost seemed like something ain't right. Like, did Kevin get a snort or two before the scene? He was just talking, and Chris was just sucking it up. I was just like, boy, I tell you, sometimes men can be so dang gullible, But Chris really wanted to believe it. Like, they were so in love. Now, Monique's party. So Monique is a vegan now, and typical new vegan. I can look at a pork and bacon and I won't even want it. We're going to have this conversation in about 2 or 3 more years. Y'all remember when Mr. was a vegan? Baby was eating more meat than me. No, he don't really eat as much meat as me, but yeah. Child, it would be just so gung-ho with y'all just be special. Anyway, she has the chef there. He's completing a full vegan dinner for the couples. She sits down with Chris before the couples get there, and she's telling him how WGPC had offered her the job. Well, they haven't offered it officially, but they gonna want her to come work there. She could pretty much feel it in her bones. And she has to be there at 5 o'clock in the morning. Okay, and Chris was like, oh, that's gonna be tough. Okay, but Chris is gonna fall in line. I'll do whatever I gotta do. I'll support, and that means call a babysitter and have somebody over there in the morning to cook some damn breakfast for these kids. Anyway, Chris was like, yeah, I just wanted to tell you about the conversation that I had with Kevin. He was like, Monique, I don't know. What don't you know, Chris? Okay, Monique was like, Chris, what is wrong with you? I told you, Winter said that he done dropped her and went and moved into back home with his parents. Just left one day. Chris was like, I don't want to throw him under the bus. And Monique was just like, you just falling for the okie doke, okay? Kevin ain't no good. What was funny to me was before Quick and Ashley went to Monique's, because they had, she had told Ashley that they was going to be vegan. Even though she is a pescatarian, depending on what day you ask her, Quick says. They stop and get them something to eat beforehand, which is very, very smart. Otherwise, because let me tell you, I hate going somewhere and being hungry. Like, that is the worst, okay? I need to have a full belly when I'm operating, or Roxanne gets hangry, and you wouldn't like me when I'm hangry. So Eat you some food beforehand. That's the same thing I'll do when you go to these little ass tapas bars and shit. They'd be like, what the fuck I'm supposed to do with this little bit of something? Bitch, give me some food. Okay? So, yeah, to keep everybody happy, meaning Roxanne, let's get some food. So when they stop at a seafood boil place and they eat. So they're sitting there talking, and Quick tells her about CIAA and how he's been booked for like 15 gigs. Okay. And she was just like, I don't even want to say it again because we've had this conversation many times. Okay. You're going to work yourself to death. Your ass, they're going to call me US such and such hospital. I got to go there, and then I got to pick up the pieces after Quick be in the hospital for some days and falling apart and falling out and all that. And she's just tired of it. And she says that the cycle is that she complains, he stops working as much, she's happy, then he starts working a whole lot again, he burns himself out, and then she has to go and get him back together, and then he's back together and he's not working as much, and then she's happy, and then he starts working again. So it's a cycle, and she's sick of it. And he appreciates her for putting up with him and his cycle. Because he ain't gonna stop doing it. She says she don't like to nag and shit, but that's her husband. That's her best friend. She does love to spend time with him. It's not just her just being, stay home and help with the kids. Like, she likes being with him too. So he appreciates his wife and all that she does. They the Silvas, and he said, nobody has a relationship like they do. So it's gonna be all right. Just let them get through these 3 days of CIAA, and then everything's gonna be all good. Now, the party. So everybody comes. We also have Neil, who we saw earlier in the show, and his wife, Tasha. Tasha did Monique's hair when she was on Potomac. So she's invited them to the dinner. They're there as well as Winter. And Ashley ain't really feeling Winter. She feels like Winter is a snob. She kind of feels all hoity-toity, and she's kind of above everybody else. And I was like, with that haircut? Baby, you ain't getting the Jack and Jill looking like that. So I was just like, oh, okay, Winter with this half-shaved head in the middle of her child craziness. Anyway, Monique tells them that they're having vegan food, and Raina was like, yeah, I don't eat vegan food, which cracks me up when people say that, because girl, just have a salad, okay? But I guess when motherfuckers be coming with this impossible meat and, these crumbles that, what the fuck is this crumble, nigga? Just give me some hamburger, some turkey meat, or just don't give me nothing at all, it tastes just like. I understand that vegans sometimes crave those things. So, I get it and everything. But if you don't eat like that kind of stuff, you can still have a salad and you could still be considered vegan, okay? Or eating vegan, I should say. So they all sit down and they're talking, and Monique is saying how much she loves Black people. She loves supporting Black people. She loves being around Black people and blah, blah, blah. So they are going to Africa so they can see where they originated from, where their tribe, what they come from. While they're talking, and Jamie and Raina is sitting right across from them. So they're kind of talking, and Jamie is asking, or trying to talk as well, and he kind of shushes Raina. Just kind of puts his hand up, and Winter was like, I don't care how much he's had to drink, that is not okay. And I was just like, it was just you act like he slapped her in the mouth. Like, it might have just been like, hold up a minute, wait a minute, let me finish my sentence. But anyway, he asks if they were concerned about COVID, since COVID is still running rampant. And Monique was like, no, I don't care about COVID. I don't live in fear. And Jamie was like, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but he had COVID and that shit was tough. Well, turns out that Chris and Monique have both had COVID a couple of times. And apparently Monique was sick, and honey, when Monique was sick, Chris wasn't checking up on her, and he was just like, wait a minute. Now you're going to get me mad. Now let me talk. And she was trying to talk over him. And Monique, I'm starting to remember that she's kind of naggy. Like, Monique is definitely justified in the things that she says, but she's also a naggy kind of wife. It gets on my nerves sometimes, so she's all, now, I was up there and I was sick and he didn't come up there and I was, by myself. And he was just like, first of all, Monique is always complaining about not getting any rest. He was like, so I was letting her rest, basically. He was like, but, and she was just like, no, you didn't. First, she was kind of telling him that he didn't do anything, and he told her to hush, okay? Let him finish talking. She's like, you about to mess up the dinner. I said, child, don't y'all start fighting at your own fucking dinner party. Ain't nothing worse than going to a party and then the couple get to fight and shit. It's all uncomfortable. You know, we all sitting there looking at y'all argue about who was sicker and who was sick in COVID and who helped who. But anyway, he said that I thought she wanted the rest. I thought she needed the rest. Okay, when he went up there and asked her, he told her, okay, just whenever you need something, let me know, text me. I'm up here right away. You know, she was like, yeah, that's true. You know, you did once I told you that I wanted you to check on me more than you did. Okay, sometimes it's just communication, you guys, but you see how quickly that shit can go left, right? So Monique was like, see, this is the reason why she wanted to get some pointers from Irena and Jamie, because they've been through a lot of things, 26 years. And they were like, yeah, we have been through a lot. Jamie tries to cut it off by just saying, yeah, you know what, back in the day, he probably was out there doing too much, you know, and that Irena stuck by him the whole time, so he appreciates it. So now, you know, they in the best place that they've ever been in their marriage. Okay. And Ashley was like, okay, yeah, she gets all of that, but that's the part that they talking about, you know, the in-between, like, what was the shit that happened in the marriage, okay? Which is getting real personal. Like I said, Jamie tried to cut it off, but then Irena just finally said, well, it was infidelity, okay? Back in the day, they was having infidelity problems. Or what she would say is, maybe it wasn't infidelity because she never caught him. You know, there might have been a text message here, a phone call there, but she never caught him in the act. So now she's just saying that it's cheating. I was like, semantics, right? Isn't it the same thing? But maybe it's not to everybody. So when she was telling them all of that, you could see it in his face that he was kind of irritated. Like, that was not what he wanted to discuss with this particular group, but it's out there. It was going to be out there anyway, Jamie. If you was mad about it, it was going to eventually come. This is reality show, honey. People will dig up all of your dirt. So it was gonna come out one way or another. So might as well just put it out there and deal with it now. You know, Winter is trying to figure out how do they push past that infidelity, cheating, or whatever you want to call it, because, you know, she's been facing some things herself, you know, and Irena was like, you've been so quiet tonight. And so then Winter starts telling them how, you know, she was happy, she was married, and then maybe a couple of days before her anniversary, Blue, can you get down, Poop? Get down, man. I know, you want to tell the people hi. I know, but let me finish. Stay down. Thank you. Right before she was about to celebrate their 1-year anniversary, she found out that he was taking money from his partners in his business, and it was millions and millions of dollars. And he got so overwhelmed that he moved out the house and told her that he was going to get it fixed, and he moved back home with his parents. And Monique was like, I told you he lived at home with his parents in the basement. Okay, Monique, please stay out of this. We don't need you, you know, putting extra on it. You know, while they sitting there listening to him, I'm like them. They was like, how long did you know this Kevin character before y'all got married? She was like, well, you know, I knew him for a year. You know, before we got married. And I was like, girl, you obviously didn't know him well enough. And really a year is not, because when did he ask you to get married? You usually be engaged, you know, sometime. Like, you need to know somebody a little bit better is all I'm saying. But people make mistakes, people be in love. Like, I get it. Okay. So she just had to learn this lesson, but evidently Kevin was not the man that she thought he was. And, you know, she was like, I'm a relationship expert, so I asked all the right questions. And I was like, here we go with the damn experts, y'all. Ashley was like, obviously you didn't ask the right question. And she got upset. And that's where it ended. But I was like, Ashley, like, girl, you didn't know all of this. He just, when you look at him, he looked like he ain't all the way right. So it was just sort of like, I'm listening to her and I was just like, oh girl, well, I guess. But she gets upset when Ashley says that to her. So we're going to see more about this next week. But something about both Winter and Kevin got my good eye on both of them. Both of them don't seem like they are 100% right. All right, you guys, that's it. Get these edited and up to you this evening. I'm determined to get them up tonight. Anyway, make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is itsrox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Until next time, rock stars. Bye.